Hello, good day. You are welcome to Track Academy, and you're welcome to the past questions and answer solution section. Today, in our mathematics section of solving our past question, we are going to be taking a look at the algebra part of the mathematics. We are going to be solving past questions samples from WAEC and JAMB that is actually on algebra. So before we moved on, what is the expectation of our class? Now, the expectation of this class is that by the end of this video, by the end that you finish watching this video, we should be able to solve any related algebra past question from WAEC or JAMB. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's dive in to solving of these questions. And the first question we are going to solve is a question that was picked from the WAEC 1994. And this question says a man will be X plus 10 years old in 8 years' time. A man will be X plus 10 years old in 8 years' time. If 2 years ago he was 63 years, find the value of X. Now, one thing I want you to understand about algebra is that, especially what problem is that, make sure you read and understand whatever question that you are given. If you understand question, this will help you in what? In interpreting this question before you solve. Now, let's interpret and solve this question together. Now, like they said a man is X plus 10 years, which means the age of this man is X plus 10. Now, in 8 years ago, actually, so which means this X plus 10 is the age of this man 8 years ago, 8 years in time. Now, the first thing we need to do is this. They need to know what is the age of this man at present. That is, what is the present age of this man? And for us to do that is what? Is subtracting 8 years from the age of this man. 8 years time. So that will be X plus 10 minus 8. Now, which means this minus that we just do now is the present age of this man. We'll be able to what? To know what the present age of this man is. Then if you notice that that will be X min plus 2. How do I get my 2? This is 10 minus 8. That gives me 2. Now, proceeding on the question, it says if 2 years ago he was 63 years, that is, now if you take away, like 2 years ago means 2 years to the back, and to the back means subtracting 2 years from the age of that man. The man was 63 years. Now, let's take a look at that. If you subtract the age of this man, that is X plus 2, that is the present age. Now, we take away 2 years, that is minus 2. The age is 63. Now, if you solve this equation in the right sense, you will see that 2 minus 2 gives me 0. That is, the value of my X is equals to 63 years. That is, the value of this X is actually 63. I hope you get that right. If that's so, let's move on to the next question. And the next question is also from a Y question, 2004, question 5, objective. It says, a schoolgirl spends 1 over 4 of her pocket money on books and also spends 1 over 3 on dress. You are now asked what fraction of the what of the money remains. Now, if you want to solve any kind of these questions that involves this kind of fraction, you assume that the whole money that she has is 1, and you will now be taking those certain fractions that she's spending, which means the first thing I need to take out from this 1 money is the 1 over 4 that is spent. So if you look at this, if you solve 1 over 4, then the LCM of this is 4, and that will be 4 minus 1. Then if you solve that right, that will be 3 over 4. Now, which means after we take away the what? The money she spent on books, she have 3 over 4 left. Then you said she also spent what? 1 over 3 on dress. Now, which means from this 3 over 4 that we have left, we have to take away 1 over 3. Now, let's take a 1 over 3 so that we can know what fraction is left. Now, looking at the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. So if you have 12, then 4 in 12 give me 3. 3 times 3, 9. I hope you are following the steps. If so, let's move on. Then 3 in 12 gives me 4. Then 4 times this one gives me 4. Then you will see 9 minus 4 gives me 5 over 12, which means the fraction of the money that she has left is 5 over 12, and that is option C. You can see that when you take a look at and you solve this question gently, you will see that they are actually a simple question. Moving on to another question, which is example 3, and this one is actually from JAMB 1983, question 34. Let's solve this. We are asked to factorize this expression completely, and that is 81a what? A raised to the power 4 minus 16b raised to the power 4. So how do we what? How do we factorize this? If you remember a factorization rule that says when you have x squared minus b squared, the factorization gives you what? It gives you a minus b, a plus b. If you remember, then this is what we are going to apply in these questions, and which means this question has been simplified when you know the method to be used. Now, having know what to use, then how do we turn this all to square? If you look at 81, 81 can be expressed as 9 squared. 9 squared, do you get that right? Also, this a raised to the power 4 can be a squared squared. That is a square of square. Also, we have 16 to the 4 square. I hope you are following. Then b raised to the power 4 will be what? B square of square. Then now, using this method for this now, you will see that you have 9a square, that is the first one, minus what? 4b square. 4b square. Also, you have the second part, which is 9a square. 9a square minus, no, that's plus 4b square. Now, you are done with the first step, and what is the question say? It says factorize completely, which means there's still some ways to go. If you leave this question like this, then you are like what? You are still not at the right answer. Now, looking at this side, if you compare this particular one to this, you will see that it's almost the same thing. What did I mean? Which means we can rewrite this as 3 square a square. Am I there? Okay, minus 2 square b square, which means I can also rewrite this in their own expansion form. Then join it together with what? With this. Now, which means if I write this now, I will have 3a minus 2b, also 3a plus 2b plus 2b. Wow, that's great. You get that? Now, which means when you are solving a particular question, what you just need to do is what? Is to be calm in solving the question. And don't forget that you are writing this what? This particular one back. Then, which means that will be 9a squared. Since this one cannot be factorized, you write it 9a squared plus 4b squared. So this is the solution of these questions. So you can see that how simple it is when you what? When you follow the process. Now, the last question we are going to be solving today is also a JAMB question that was what? That was picked from JAMB 1990, question 5. JAMB 1990, question 5. You can go to your series and confirm the numbers of these questions. Now, let's take a look at the questions. The question says, three children share a basket of mangoes in such a way that the first child took 1/4 of the mangoes, the second child took 3/4 of the remainder. Now, you were asked what fraction of the mangoes did the third child take? Now, if you look at this example, comparing it the other side of this girl, I told you that the first thing you need to do is what? Use that one. Then take away the particular thing that was removed, then moved on the solving. Then if you use 1 to represent the whole basket of the mangoes, then minus 1/4. Now, if you do 1 minus 1/4, you will see that the answer is 3/4. 3/4. Okay. Now, seeing that 3/4, now if you look at that second one, the second part took 3/4 of the remainder. They didn't say 3/4 from the remainder. They said 3/4 of what? Of the remainder, which means we need to do 3/4 of remainder, and that remainder is 3/4. Then, which means 3/4 of 3/4. And that will be what? 3/4 times 3/4 times what? Times 3/4. So if you multiply that correctly, that is 9/16. Because when you are multiplying fractions, you multiply numerator by numerator and you multiply denominator by denominator. So this is not a case whereby you what? Whereby you are going to be cross multiplying. That's not. Now, we have gotten that the share of this second child is 9/16. So take it away from what? From the remainder here. When you take it away from the remainder, you will note what? The remaining that the third child will be taking. Then that will now be 3/4 minus 9/16. I hope this is not so confusing. If it gets confused, try it and watch this part again. Okay, now what is the LCM of this? And that is 16. So the LCM is 16, and 4 is 16. That's 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Then 16 is 16. That's 1. 1 times 9 is 9. And if you subtract, you will see that what? 12 minus 9 is what? 12 minus 9 is 3, and that's 3/16. Now, which means the fraction that is left for that third child to take is what? Is the 3/16 of the mangoes. I hope you understand all these examples. Now, I want you to go into the series and try and solve some of these questions yourself. If you are able to solve it, then if you are unable, I want you to watch this video again. Thank you very much and see you next video.